Good morning. I am Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you. Going to spend some time talking to you about you and your business.
I've got a lot to cover, so let me get straight to it. Mike Schocker, he is president of a company called Formidable. They are in the real estate management space. They're out of Michigan, but they have a footprint all over the country. And today's program, we're going to put a special focus on senior living, which is one of the hottest topics out there. Demographically, most Americans are aware of the fact that the baby boomers, which we're not young chickens anymore. I'm on the far young end of it, but I think more and more about retirement in my early 50s now than I did just a few years ago, and where I will want to live and that type of thing. And so demographically, America's really changing. And 1/3 of the population are baby boomers. There's millions who are in the silent generation age group that are older than that. And even some of the greatest generations will remain with us. And so what a timely topic that I'm going to get to have with Mike. Mike Schocker, welcome to the program.
Kevin, thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate you making the time.
You bet. Talk a little bit, first of all, about your footprint. You are literally all over the country. Talk about the states that you're in. You're corporately located out of Michigan, I understand.
Yeah, absolutely. So Formidable is the name of our company. We're funny enough, we're actually celebrating our 40th year in business this year. And so we manage properties, from Michigan all the way down to Mississippi, from South Carolina west all the way to Oklahoma. At the present moment, we manage about 7,000 different units at this time, Kevin.
That is interesting. What percentage of those are geared towards adult or senior living?
It's probably our strongest, and certainly in the past it's been our most significant business segment has been the senior community. So my guess would be that's like the 35-40% range of what we do is managing senior properties.
Mm-hmm. Say that you're looking at even shifting some of your properties into that space, or even creating more properties, or purchasing more properties in that space.
Absolutely, and Kevin, you kind of hit the nail right on the head with what you said regarding the demographics. It's interesting. I just read that 2.9 million people every year in the United States turn 60 or older. So that demographic is just growing at a very rapid pace.
Well, I'm trying to dig my heels in. I've got still several years to go, but they sure are coming faster.
Me too, but it's coming quick, isn't it?
It really is. So talk a little bit to me about, that trend. I guess one of the big concerns that immediately comes to mind is how much more expensive it could be for those seniors because of the demand for those type of properties.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a multitude of things that we look at when we're taking over a senior property, and one of them, of course, is affordability, because we know that the income stream is pretty much set at that point in people's lives. So certainly the affordability factor plays a strong part in how we operate and manage senior communities.
Yeah, no question about it. So are there certain parts of the country that you're seeing more growth of senior interest than others? It kind of follows the traditional demographics that, especially here being in Michigan, a lot of people as they reach their senior years, they're spending a lot of time further down south or out west. So certainly you're seeing growth in those areas. But even here in our home state of Michigan, there's senior communities that are coming up every day. We're competing with them every day. So it's kind of widespread, and I don't think it's actually, just for one area. It's really been kind of a broad-based growth. Yeah, very interesting. So kind of give me a sense of what you see coming around the corner when it comes to this space.
Yeah, so it is really different. My parents are at the age where they're looking for senior housing, and certainly my mother's kind of in that situation too. And so it's really changed, me being able to see it from the personal side and the business side, how senior communities are set up and are different today than from what I remember when I was a kid. And, I think the most important thing to tell you, Kevin, about the whole thing is that it's more about the resident activities and the social community of the space as much as it is what the apartment or the unit might look like itself.
Yeah. So you're absolutely right. I remember when I was a kid growing up in Fernell, Michigan, right there off of Hilton, there was this convalescent home right behind our house. We lived like a block from Hilton, and that was like, and in my mind, up until the time I left, which was 13, in my mind, that was like the only options that were really still out there, and that was in the early 70s. And see what they've done since then.
Yes. Yeah. So now like I said, it's really centered around the social part of it. So if you walked into that space that you mentioned in the late 1970s, Kevin, you might see a bingo hall if you're lucky, something to get everybody out of the room. And really today it's focused around media centers, Wi-Fi throughout, great dining experiences, fitness centers, cafes. It really, really is aimed towards getting people out of their apartment and joining with other people of the like age.
Mike, we only have about a minute left. Any final thoughts you want to give to the audience, to the listener?
Yeah, as I mentioned, Kevin, it's just such an important segment that's up and growing. And, people that are in business like we are, we're really, really trying to look at the demographic and the different types of demand as this evolves. And certainly, like you mentioned in the beginning, this is a segment that isn't going to change for any time in the foreseeable future. So it's really important, and there's a lot of good people I know that are out there really trying to drive this so the needs of our seniors, including people like our parents, are continually met.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Well, I'm glad you shared your story today and the story of your firm. Formidable is the company. The website you'd love to make that as well, Mike?
Absolutely. So it's formidable.com, but it's got a little twist to it. It's spelled out FOURMIDABLE. So formidable with the number 4 spelled out.
Like it. Thanks so much. Thank you very much. We enjoyed having you.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. Anytime.
All right, when we come back, we're going to have much more for you. You want to remind you to contact here, stuff over there at usdailyreview.com, and you're listening to The Price of Business. Yeah.